When I go to prayer, am I approaching the Father in the name of Jesus with that type of confidence? That if I ask in the Son's name, I show up in the Son's name, he's not going to even say a word. He doesn't need to. I kind of get this feeling like, kind of going into the palace of the Most High, the King, and you're walking in, and there's Jesus like, you didn't say anything? No. Why not? You're the divine Son. You should say something. Just go in my name. He loves you. You good? Okay. Do we really believe those words? That the Father loves us? Do we believe everything the Lord spoke to us? These words. It's one big love story from beginning to end. Starts with the marriage, ends with the marriage. Adam and Eve ends with Christ and the church. One big love story. Do we believe this? And have we entered into this story, and are we willing to live it out in our lives? In virtue. Being attractive to this world. Going back to the beginning of this homily. Very long homily. The world's a mess. It's a disaster. And things are getting worse. And the new evangelization won't just happen from somebody preaching. It won't happen by simply having 24/7 radio, Catholic radio. It's not going to happen by simply handing out pamphlets and protesting in front of abortion clinics or these porn shops or whatever. The new evangelization will happen when Christians decide to be Christians again. When we decide to truly live our faith fully, completely, totally. What the world is in need of is not anything but saints. That's what we need. Saints. It's the holiness of the witness of our lives. Lived well. Lived in the will of God. Lived with joy. Pope Francis, you gotta love him. He just says things in such a funny way. If Christians don't have joy, they're nothing but pickled peppers. Is that a pontifical statement? We're just pickled peppers. It's that beautiful witness of our lives, of taking this truth and living it out with great joy. What has been the great scandal of Christianity is Christians not living their faith. That's been the scandal. That's been the problem. As I mentioned in the beginning, we got too comfortable. And we just kind of went along with the flow. And we settled for so much less than who we really are. We've settled for so much less in ourselves. We've settled for less than virtue. We settled for just being good. We're good people. We need to be more than good. We need to be holy people, virtuous people, people of the gospel, people of the good news who have something to say, something to offer. Attractive by the very fact of the holiness of our lives. As we reflect upon this cross of Francis, he went forth and preached, clothed in a habit of penance and poverty, barefoot. I guess he didn't have to go to restaurants back then and get kicked out because he was barefoot. He went forth, vowing himself to God, proclaiming the good news by his example, by the witness of his life, by the joy that was within him, taking the gospel literally and not relaxing on living it, but with joy applying it whenever it was necessary and in every circumstance that he possibly could. May the Lord give us this grace to know it, to live it with joy. May God bless you and Mary keep you.